In the heart of Newlands, a district in Durban, South Africa, in the year 1924, a humble, hard-working Indian man named Aman, then 35 years old, stood under the African sun, sweat on his brow, heart pounding with hope. The scent of marigolds and spice lingered in the air, woven into the fabric of celebration. It was his wedding day, a union not just of two people, but of cultures, dreams, and endurance. His bride, Papathy, just like her name meaning butterfly, looked radiant in a bright silk sari. Both had journeyed far from India, seeking opportunity and stability in the sugarcane fields and communities of Natal. Together, they began their life in the growing Indian community of Newlands. Their love blossomed into a family. Between 1926 and 1930, Aman and Papathy welcomed three beautiful children. Peru, their firstborn son, in 1926. He was curious and bright-eyed. Ella, a gentle girl, was born in 1928 with a heart full of music and storytelling. Raju, their youngest son, was born in 1930. He was spirited and strong-willed. In 1935, shortly after giving birth to their fourth child, a beautiful little girl, Papathy and her newborn daughter became ill with a fever. Papathy was weak and breathless, and she clung to life in Aman's arms. They both became ill with the deadly disease called Natal fever, known historically as malaria, which was endemic to Natal province. It was a relentless, invisible killer, especially potent during heavy rains when mosquito populations surged. With limited access to medicine and hospitals, many, especially in poor and marginalized communities, fell victim. Despite Aman's desperate prayers and traditional remedies, both Papathy and their newborn daughter succumbed within days. The light in Aman's world dimmed. The grief was too heavy for words. Only silence and the sound of his children's cries filled their small home. In the days that followed, Aman, now a widower with three young children, was a man burdened yet unbroken. He wore his pain like a second skin. He rose before dawn to work on his farm, planting maize, sugarcane, beans, and chilies. Papathi's mum, Pungavanam, or Amapai as everyone called her, helped take care of the children. Peru and Raju helped milk the cow. Her name was Vitas. Ella helped her grandmother with meal preparations. Together they clung to one another, finding solace in shared sorrow and strength in their father's silent determination. Over the next few years, Aman rebuilt his life with patience. He taught his children respect, hard work, and love, the same values he and Papathy had dreamed of instilling in them. Yet grief lingered like a ghost, until hope knocked on his door once more, this time wearing a familiar face. Over the years, Papathy's younger sister Chinnama, or Chitti as she was known to all, visited often to help the children alongside her mum. In time, her compassion turned into quiet love. In 1936, Aman married Chitti. Though their union began in mourning, it grew into a partnership built on strength and shared duty. It was not just a marriage of convenience, but one of healing. Chitti grew into her role with grace, love, and maternal instinct. Together they forged a new chapter, and from their union came 7 more children. Veliama, born in 1938. She was strong-willed and clever. Mariama was born in 1940. She's the quiet one and wise beyond her years. Mariama celebrates her 85th birthday this year. She currently resides in Melbourne, Durban, South Africa. Next, it was Baby. She was born in 1941 and she was strong and courageous. Baby became sick at the age of 12 and passed away in that year. Devanai was born in 1942. She was nurturing and calm. Sadambaram was born in 1943. He was handsome, always smartly dressed, and he had the neatest handwriting. His life was cut short and he passed away from illness at the age of 24. Yagambaram was born in 1945. He was strong like his father. And Subramani was born in 1950, the youngest, full of light and curiosity. Chitti became the pillar of the family, loving Aman's older children as her own and binding the family with care and resilience. The home was always full, with laughter, meals cooked over open flames, and stories of the old country. Aman and Chitti did have some funny moments. Occasionally, after a day's work at the market, Aman used to stop by at the roadhouse, a local watering hole, to catch up with friends and have a few drinks. He usually would get tanana, which was slang for intoxicated. Sometimes he was too wobbly to get back on the horse and cart. It was a good thing that Jamlut and Dayman, the horses, knew the way home. The horses used to slow down well before home and stop under a tree about 15 meters from the farmhouse and bray. Clever horses. Chitti used to see Aman from a distance wobbling home singing to himself, and she would start yelling in Tamil. She would then send the children to check on him. The children used to quietly go and check. As they got nearer to their dad, they used to tiptoe, stop under the tree and wait. All they were interested in was in getting the most important merchant home, Appa, their dad. Aman became known as Zugwa to many. Zugwa was a Zulu word and meant 5 cents. Legend has it Aman used to cut up tasks for workers in 5-cent portions. He taught local youth how to plant, how to mend tools, and how to weather hardship. His house in Newlands became a sanctuary of generosity. Even apartheid laws couldn't crush the spirit within those wood and iron walls. Aman lived a long, full life, witnessing his children grow into adulthood, some becoming farmers and others traders, all carrying pieces of him within them. When he passed in 1966, at the age of 77, surrounded by children and grandchildren, he left behind more than just a family. He left a legacy of resilience, courage, and unbreakable love. After Aman's passing, Chitti continued to live with Raju, now married to Ani, meaning sister-in-law in Tamil. Ani was affectionately called Siringo by Aman. Chitti became the quiet pillar of that household. She taught Ani the recipes that Papathy once made. She whispered bedtime stories to her grandchildren. She wore her widow's white sari with quiet dignity. Despite losing 2 children, she remained a woman of faith and hope. She prayed each morning and ensured every child knew the power of their roots. Peru, Ella, Raju, and their siblings carried Aman's legacy forward. Today, their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren walk in schools and streets he never imagined, yet shaped by his sacrifice. Aman taught them all. The soil remembers the hands that till it, and love, once planted, can outlive death. This story is a testament of the unsung heroes of history, the immigrants, the survivors, the mothers and fathers who endured hardship and built futures brick by brick. They navigated the complexities of colonial rule, racial segregation, an economic struggle with quiet strength. Aman's story, etched into the rich, fertile earth of South Africa, is not just about survival, but about rising again and again for love, for family, for tomorrow. And so his legacy lives on. I hope you enjoyed episode 3 about my grandparents. We have tried to recreate this story with the facts we have come to learn about them over the years. Please refer to previous episodes about my grandfather's journey from India and his time in South Africa as an indentured laborer. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe.